6 matches, they scored 13 goals and conceded only 2. We're talking about a team that didn't concede in the group stage or the knockout rounds. They also broke the defensive record. They have an incredible attacking line that's outpaced every other national team's players in the world for goals and assists combined. On football's biggest stage, despite his young age, they have a captain who's shattering tournament records. This is one of the most dominant teams of the 2026 World Cup. Yes, the answer is France. In this tournament, they haven't just won every match. They've dominated every match. As the semifinals approach, the same question is circling in every coach's mind, every player's mind. How do you stop this team? To understand what makes France different and special, we need to go back to 2022. In Qatar, France reached the final. The road there was brutal. Mbappé was the brain of the attack. When he faltered, the team faltered. They went toe-to-toe with Argentina. They took the match all the way to penalties and lost. The team was devastating in fast-paced moments but structurally fragile. This time, there's a difference. This isn't the same France team. This time, the players built around Mbappé have extraordinary talent. Now there's Olise, Dembélé, Doué, Barcola, and more. The team is like a robot whose power has been split into parts. But its hands, its feet, and its brain are all working brilliantly. Kylian Mbappé, Ousmane Dembélé, Michael Olise, Bradley Barcola. These 4 players have combined for 23 goal contributions in this tournament, more than Brazil's Ronaldo-Rivaldo and Ronaldinho managed together in 2002, the year that team, one of the most colorful and entertaining sides in history, won the World Cup. Officially, France plays a 4-2-3-1. But once they get possession, the formation becomes almost meaningless. Mbappé drifts central. Dembélé shuttles between the wing and cutting inside. Olise drops deeper to dictate tempo. Barcola pops up wherever the defense is weakest. It's like a small storm their opponents simply can't predict. Kylian Mbappé entered the quarterfinal against Morocco with 7 goals in 5 matches. He missed a penalty in the first half, his first missed penalty for France since Euro 2020. Then, in the 60th minute, he took the ball and fired into the far corner. ESPN called it one of the best goals of the tournament. With 20 World Cup goals now, Mbappé sits just 1 goal behind Lionel Messi's all-time record of 21. And he's confident enough to believe he can surpass the record Messi built. He's the only player since 1966 to register 10 or more goal contributions in 2 separate World Cups. Ousmane Dembélé won the Ballon d'Or last year. He's been the second most important piece of this team, like a second captain. The player who steps up when chances aren't turning into goals. His hat-trick against Norway in the group stage is proof of that. This team owes him a great deal. In the quarterfinal against Morocco, Dembélé was quiet until the 66th minute. Then, suddenly, he stepped up and scored. That brought his career World Cup goal tally to 5. He's 30 years old and arguably playing the best football of his career. He's the team's guardian angel. France knows that when things get tough, he's there. Most of the discussion around France has focused purely on their attacking numbers. But in the semi-finals and beyond, across 3 knockout matches, their opponents managed a combined expected goals value of just 0.97. Whoever they faced, Paraguay, Morocco, no team has been able to break down the French defense. At the center of it are William Saliba and Dayot Upamecano, Jules Koundé on the right, and on the left, Theo Hernandez, who also brings an attacking threat. In goal, Mike Maignan, who's saved a penalty in 6 matches. So far, this is the most complete team in the tournament. Some sports writers have coined a different phrase for France. They say France is the only team in this tournament capable of fielding 2 separate starting 11s. That's how deep their squad is. Their players, across every position, are giving the world's top clubs a run for their money. That's a huge advantage for France. Didier Deschamps has been France's head coach for 14 years. He won the World Cup in 2018. He reached the final in 2022. And in 2026, at 67 years old, he may be building his greatest team yet. Not because of any tactical innovation, but because of what he's created among these players. The understanding runs so deep that the team no longer needs a fixed shape to function. The players move like interlocking gears all connected to one another. Deschamps is the master craftsman who built that connection. Years of stability are the result of sustained, disciplined work together. Mbappé has now played 20 consecutive World Cup matches under Deschamps, a record for both player and coach. 4 World Cups were built on that foundation. It's one of the French national team's invisible advantages. Yes, when there's stability, everything becomes possible. Against Morocco, France faced a tough 90 minutes ahead of them. After all, Morocco, 6th in the world rankings, unbeaten in 34 consecutive international matches, having eliminated football giant Netherlands on penalties just days earlier, was a team full of fight. Their well-organized backline and strong midfield had France somewhat on edge. It was clear this would be a difficult match. Yet, surprisingly, Morocco failed to register a shot on target until the 84th minute. Things weren't going well for the Atlas Lions, one of the tournament's most defensively disciplined and tactically flexible teams. Not because Morocco played badly, but because France's athleticism, intense pressing, and control of the game were simply suffocating them. France's crushing dominance left Morocco helpless. Teams like this don't just win, they take control of the entire match, and that's exactly what happened. If France reaches the final at MetLife Stadium on July 19th, they'll become the 3rd country in World Cup history to reach 3 consecutive finals. Germany did it from 1982 to 1990, and Brazil did it from 1994 to 2002. Brazil won the last of their 3 finals, Germany won the middle one. If France wins this final, there will clearly be plenty to talk about. The last team to successfully defend a World Cup title was Brazil, in 1958 and 1962. Every team wants to defend its title, but it's never easy. Germany, Argentina, Spain, Brazil, France, every nation wants to climb back to the top. Very few matches remain. The peak is slowly taking shape. There are 2 storylines on everyone's mind these days. First, Mbappé's ankle. He was seen with an ice pack after the Morocco match and left the field early. He called it a minor injury and insisted he was fine. But at this stage of a tournament, minor can quickly become major. Second, Spain. If Belgium manages one of the tournament's biggest shocks today in Los Angeles, France could face Belgium in the semi-final. And with De Ketelaere, Lukaku, and Doku all in form, Belgium wouldn't be a comfortable opponent for anyone. But if Spain advances instead, a team that's conceded 0 goals in 6 matches and eliminated Portugal in extra time, with a lethal attacking line featuring finishers like Lamine Yamal and Mikel Oyarzabal, then the semi-final in Dallas could end up being the tournament's real final, ahead of schedule. In other words, we'd be watching a battle between attack and defense. The perfect storm against the perfect wall. This is the Cup Files. This has been the story of France's perfect storm, and the question nobody has been able to answer yet: who can stop them?